Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this one we are checking out this absolute post-war monster of a plane that goes by the name of the P-51H. So I have some good kills. It's quite overpowered with a very powerful engine. But without any further ado, let's cut right into the gameplay and I'll tell you a little more about it. So guys, just to start the video off, we're brain fart, going after a J7W1 in the P-51H. Now, what you're going to see in this clip, and something that's pretty fun and easy to do just to play around with the power of this engine. I go up and I don't think this guy was really trying per se. He just knew the fight was over. But I go up, do a loop over him, and get on a 6. Right? Yeah. Yep, that'd be a 6. And get the kill that way. So I did that a couple times after a run, just to help get behind him and make use of all of the power that I have at my disposal. So something that you're going to run into when you're flying this plane, if you are not careful with your WEP, I believe that the WEP is actually water injection. So if you hold WEP the entirety of the match, I don't know exactly how long you have water for, but it will run out, and as soon as it does run out, you don't just have oodles and oodles of power at your disposal. So the WEP is very good in this plane, and I didn't really have many issues with overheating. I haven't tried flying with manual engine controls in it, so I don't know if that would provide any benefit. Like on the P-47s, it can help squeeze just a little bit more performance out. It's not anything that you're really gonna notice if you're just a casual player like I am. If you're flying in sim battles, obviously you'll be a little more hardcore, but that's okay. But I'm pretty sure that this P-51, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's post-war. So I don't know for sure if it saw any real action. Now in War Thunder, it's sitting at a battle rating of 6.3, and basically what that means is you get to deal with all of the JU-280 you get to deal with all of the JU-288C spam. So almost every match there's going to be 4 or more of them, and they are very annoying to deal with. If you go in behind them just straight on and do not get your guns on them in time, they're just going to take you out with their gunners. They have remotely operated turrets, but it's super fun whenever you get into a match with early jets. The second clip you guys saw against the ME-262, you outturn almost all of the jets, if not all of them. I don't think it would be very good against the 163, but that's a little bit of a different case. But as far as the 262s go, you do outturn them quite a bit, and if you have an altitude advantage, you know, a lot of potential energy, you can turn that into a lot of speed. Just hit the WEP, do a pretty shallow dive, and you'll end up catching the 262s. And they're going to have to be a very experienced and skillful player to get out of your guns, to say the least. Now, as far as combat flaps go, they are pretty strong. I think that they can hold up to 500 kilometers an hour. It's a pretty high number. They're super useful, and like in that first clip, every time I would get to the top of the loop, I would just pop out the combat flaps and get a little more lift under my wings, or over, whichever you prefer to say. But when you're pulling a maneuver like that, or even turn fighting other planes, it was not very often that I found myself in a situation that I could not get out of. With the WEP, even though it's limited, you do have enough power to get yourself out of an oh crap situation. And if you, for example, are turn fighting a BF-109K, you can just commence with the turn fight until he decides to break off because he gets bored. So you can do that all day and keep up with the 109s, but as soon as they make the slightest mistake, you can capitalize on it and take them down. That is kind of the name of the game with this plane, is just watching for other people's mess ups and capitalizing on them and using all of your power and the pretty good climb rate. So how I was actually managing the WEP is climbing at 300 kilometers an hour with the WEP engaged, and once I hit 3,000 meters, you know, that's a decent height, I'll just ease it back to 100% so I can save my water, just in case I got into a situation where I needed that extra power. And you are going to run into that quite a bit, especially if you run into one of the JU guys that decides to run to the edge of the map. Like, I feel 90% of them do that just to extend the match. But if I keep talking about JU-88Cs anymore, this is going to be a video about that plane that I don't even own. So, anyways, it's pretty good in a vertical. For being a P-51, I didn't feel like it relied on teammates as much. And it was a plane that you can actually fly solo and be successful with. So for me, I feel like it's a pretty easy plane to fly. You can pretty much just power out of everything. You know, if you do make a mistake and you're going up against a guy that has like 200 games in the BF-109K, he is going to take you down. Those guys are really good. Or the TA-152. Like, some of the smartest War Thunder players out there are guys that have hundreds of games in those planes. But you can still use your power in turn fight situations with them, and you're most likely going to get out of it. But that's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. So as always, if you enjoyed watching, leave a like down below. And if you have any War Thunder tips, leave them in a comment, or any planes that you want to see me fly, and I will add them to the list. And a little bit of different news for the guys, for those of you that stick around to the end of the video, if you want to check the description, I am actually launching a Discord server. It is a little bit messy right now, but I'll have the link down in the description, just in case that's something that you guys are interested in. But otherwise, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.